Good morning, everyone. So it's Sunday morning, February, 23rd, and a little after 10 a.m. Pacific time. And I had an idea to do a couple of just really short readings to ask how many, are there a lot or a little? How many GOP congresspersons are compromised by foreign countries? So that's question number one. And I'm using this Omnito Magic. It's a magic Lenormand deck. Lenormand or Lenormand, however you prefer to pronounce it. Okay, how many? A lot? A little? A medium amount? All of them? I mean, we know there were those 8 that went to Russia on July 4th, 2018, in order to meet with Putin. Of course, they never got to meet him, but, you know, when you stay in a Russian hotel, it's pretty likely you're recorded. Cameras everywhere, right? Right there. Okay. I'm going to do 2 rows of 5. So we've got crossroads. The choices, I suppose. Yeah. When you're in the domain of the camera, when you're in the eye, when you're out in public. And then there are the ties that bind. More likely audio recordings with that one. The ring is something that comes full circle, and there's a commitment. As far as the size, and the stars, whoa. When it comes to size in the Lenormand, I think that this is about as big as you can get. The fish would be another one, but... okay, so now, well... the mice is a small amount. I'm surprised about that. But, you know, hey, I always try to just open up to the truth, and it's not about what I think. So when it comes to size, though, the stars, definitely. I mean, it's the biggest one. But I think that what got the ones that are stuck or are compromised was, the ones who are tied contractually, financially. So, the ones who are the dearest and nearest to Trump. I mean, of course, Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian plant, always has been. Kash Patel has received monies, I should say. Well, Mikey Johnson, I mean, he had a whole group of Russian nationals who donated to his, campaign to get into the speaker role. Maybe that's why we have the birds here. So let's see. It might not be that large of amount, though. But, I mean, here we have, the clues to the connections. The ties that bind and the connections are meanings, keywords to anchor and the stars. Commitments are here. Crossroads are the choices. They chose. These are people who chose to be in bed with Putin. And they are secret enemies that are hidden. I mean, but they're not really hidden, right? They're not hidden to us. I mean, if the people who voted for Trump only knew, or if they, maybe some of them just want the tax breaks and they don't care. But for the average person, The letter, when it comes to size, nah, but there's not a whole lot of size, but we're talking evidence that tie them. Now, with the mice, this is a minimal size. If you get like either the child or the mice in a reading and you're wanting to know how big, how small, it's something small. So this surprises me, because I would think a lot of them would be compromised. But then, you know, in percentage-wise, right, I mean, it's still a lot of them. The trap. Now, when I see the fox, I usually think of entrapment, but with the mice, it is something that is, well, people that lie, the ones who lie. Trump is the biggest liar. People who are frauds and they just want the money. Those are the ones that move forward to those types of connections. So they're out there, you know, they're all over the world, I should say. But when it comes to our government, yeah, I'm kind of surprised to get the mouse card. Let's see. Is there any more with this one? Yeah, well, secret enemies. But I think there could be conversations with these secret enemies that are recorded or at least transcribed, something like that. It's interesting, we have the spoken word and the written word, both of those cards. Okay, well, I guess we can see who they are here, basically. Well, now the crossroads card is travel. So the 8 who went to Russia, for sure we know they're compromised. Wasn't it John Thune, Rand Paul? There was a lady, I thought. Oh my goodness, I don't even remember who they are anymore. I did a reading on them years ago. That's in my video library if you want to search for that. But you guys probably already know. You could Google it really fast too. In the public, yeah, being caught on camera, internet, camera that's wired into a hotel room is the way, of course. There's that confirmation. That confirmation is definitely here. But they maybe kind of wanted to commit in the first place. Like Tulsi Gabbard. Who's now the head of our Department of National Intelligence. How screwed up is that? Oh my gosh. Okay. So the second question is, have any of these people who are on Putin's side compromised? And maybe it's more, because why wouldn't MBS use the same tactics that the little guy that likes to ride shirtless on his horse? Why wouldn't they use the same tactics? So I can't just put it all on just Russia. But Russia seems hell-bent on bringing down the USA. Or Putin seems. I shouldn't say Russia because I never want to include their people. Okay, how many have been threatened? How many have been threatened? Well, if it's a minimal amount, well, let's just see. Oops. Okay, at least 2. Maybe I can get clues to who they are as well. Okay. all branches of our government and some of the oldest people who had the most secrets. Gifts, surprising invitations, scams, frauds. They got like kind of like catfished a bit, you know what I mean? Like that kind of a thing. I can't look at the, wow. So the ones who are publicly tied to Trump are also tied to Russia. But as far as being threatened, the fox is a card for the, if you're looking for an assassination attempt or the biggest threat, the biggest, this is it. This is the manipulator. This is the spy. The sun has to do with shining the light on something and being successful. So, yeah. So any time there was trips to Russia, I guess we'd have to do some research and see how many GOP Congress people have made trips to Russia. I don't know if it would be public record, but we might find something more than those 8. So that's interesting. Now, just the other day, it was Rand Paul and who was the other one? There was Susan Collins and then Lisa Murkowski. And I thought Rand Paul was in there too, that voted against Kash Patel. It still didn't make enough of a difference, but they crossed the aisle. So, okay. But anyway, back to the question. Have they been threatened? Yes. Yes, in a big way. Maybe the threats were like, maybe your ship will sink. Maybe you have a boat that will sink. Maybe, who pops into my head is the guy that had his houseboat. Who was that guy? What's his name? I can't remember. He had a Maserati, and his houseboat starts with an M. He's gone now. It's Kristen Sinema and him. They were always the ones that voted against what the Democrats wanted and needed. So they held these positions of a worthless seat. You guys probably are already saying, "Oh, I know his name." It's escaping my mind right now. Ugly dude, and his face looks like a fox. Seriously. This guy definitely, I think, was threatened. And yeah, with something heavy. Interesting. Okay, as far as traveling to go to Russia, this is a travel card here. This is a travel card here. This is being out in the public. Yeah, and this is our card for a public holiday as well. That's also our card for interactions and making, making that connection. Secret connections in public secret meetings with people from all 3 branches of our government. And there's at least 2 of them who've been severely threatened. And they made the changes that were required in order to try to protect themselves, I think. And it may have come as a big surprise. Okay, all right, let's try this. Okay, so last question from a different angle. And let's leave out the foreign connection and just ask, how many of these GOP Congress people are being threatened by Trump? And I guess I should include Musk in there too, right? Is that why he went on stage with that stupid chainsaw? High as a kite. So high he had to wear sunglasses. Jeez. Okay. How many are being threatened by Trump? How many of the GOP members who don't do what Trump wants, how many of them have been threatened and coerced to vote the way that... Actually, I have to add in, also, besides threatened, bribed. Extorted. Threatened, extorted, bribed by Trump. How many? Now, that could be way more than the ones that are compromised by foreign countries, right? Because Trump takes his orders from Putin. Remember that Russia TV, or Russian news agency TASS, put out a statement right after Trump won that now he had been helped, and now he is obliged to do as he's told, basically. Yes, had certain obligations or something like that. Okay. How many GOP members are being threatened, bribed, extorted by Trump? And I'm not even including the judges. Okay. There's movement. This would be the opportunity. Threatened with a painful loss, threatened in two different ways. Again with the minimal amount, but threatened, oh my goodness, probably threatened with their family. Yeah, it's surprising. Well, with the mice, that's a card of ruin, and besides something really toxic, this would be, the threat to destroy you is what I'm getting with that one. Okay. Now this would be our house for, or I'm sorry, the house would be our card for Congress. Safety and security, though, of their family. Threatened their family. I'm getting discreet ways. Jeez, but it's written down. Notes, text, something like that passed, maybe from someone else. Not him. I doubt he would do it, but he would have someone else do it, right? Oh, wow. And from Trump, from the highest level, passed to someone else. And then with the tree, again, but all three branches. Okay, but how many of them are actually threatened? Well, again, if I have to just go by size, we do have the minimal or a smaller amount than we would think, because I tend to, think it's all of them, but apparently I'm wrong about that. But the ones at the highest levels, some of them at the highest levels. So here we're talking SCOTUS. Wow. Bribes. The bouquet is bribes. Bribes. Okay, that's the deal. And the threat, small little threats, but they didn't come exactly from him, but two family members of SCOTUS. How awful. I'm going to have to read later. Well, Maybe I can do it today. I'm wondering about if SCOTUS will ever revoke their immunity, which wouldn't work with treason, though, would it? But still, I mean, they've made up some of their own rules, and just who would have thought that they would have ever taken away Roe v. Wade? Of course, so many of them are in bed with Opus Dei, of course. So, okay, but when it comes to Trump, yeah, he has threatened, he has mostly tried to bribe, quid pro quo, with top leaders, SCOTUS, but in all three branches. And he's been doing it for a long time, because that's just how he rolls. That's it. But also the family. So, yeah, I've already said it. I don't need to say it again. I'm hoping that it comes out on the news. And if we go by numbers, again, we kind of have the smaller amounts up here right out the gate, like maybe between 1 and 8. And then the small amount of people who he's tried to bribe. But, he was dialing everybody up in 2020. It's like, just give me, what did he say? 11,780 votes to Brad Raffensperger. There was that. Yeah. But it threatened with the safety and security of their family, and then bribed. And the way he has treated Zelensky, that's exactly what he does all the time. He's saying it out loud. We're hearing it because he thinks he's king, right? Oh, okay, I'm done. Take good care, you guys. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Bye.